My name is Raya Skogland. I'm the founder of my own company, Grundr, and also country manager of Hub.no. So this is the first time I give this presentation, even if I'm passionate about networking and I've been doing it for the last 3 years intensively. But this is the first time I give it, so I hope it's going to be very interesting for you and give you the right tools, mindset, and the information you need to execute networking the best way. So, let me tell you a bit about my story. So, 3 years ago, I came to Norway. And before that, I was in Switzerland, not working with startups at all, but working in private banking, very corporate world. While working in banking, I was always interested in entrepreneurship, but I never really managed to make the jump to the startup world because I simply didn't have the right network. So each time I was trying to talk to my friends about my ideas, just simply my ideas, or basically I quit twice my job at the bank without having anything, just because I was really passionate about seeing what can I do. I knew that I was stuck in this banking world. But each time I was jobless, my friends were like, what are you doing? Go get a job, it's easy, go get back to banking. So the network, the environment, the ecosystem was not there. Basically, my friends were not supporting me. I didn't get support from my family, and that's why I never managed to really start a business in Switzerland. So when my husband, who I met in Geneva, in Switzerland, and who's Norwegian, suggested to move to Norway, I said, let's go, because it can't be worse than Geneva. And this is what we've done. So we moved to Norway. And when I came 3 years ago, I only had one obsession in mind, starting my own business. That's what I really wanted to do and see what I'm capable of doing and, what's possible? What can I create? What's my business? However, how can you start a business in a new country, not knowing anyone, not having a business idea, and not speaking the language? So, very quickly I realized that, again, the network was a big priority. The fastest way and most efficient way was for me to meet like-minded people. But how? Where are they? You can't go to Uber or Xeneta or No Isolation and say, hi, can you please meet me? I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship and startups. Can you share your story with me? No one would do that. Instead, if I host a networking event for entrepreneurs, for like-minded people, they might come. So that's what I've done. I created a Facebook page called Drink Entrepreneurs, Oslo. Very straightforward, Drink Entrepreneurs created an event. Simply come join a laid-back networking event for entrepreneurs, startups, meet in a laid-back setting, share ideas, share your projects, get feedback around snacks and beers. That's it. I started to do some marketing on Facebook during 2 weeks. Again, I don't know anyone. I don't know if there are even other events like that. I just gave it a shot. First event, 70 people showed up. I was like, okay. I was expecting 5 to 10 people. And when meeting all these entrepreneurs, basically, who showed up at my event, while meeting them, they were asking me questions. So when is the next event? And why are you doing this? And so there was a trigger there. Basically, I started organizing these events as a full-time job. They asked me, when is the next event? So I started to organize the next event 1 month later, and it became a monthly event, a monthly networking event, during 9 months. First event, 70 people. Last event, we had others, but like during 9 months, after 9 months, we had 300 people, over 300 people gathering, entrepreneurs, startups, journalists, investors, lawyers, accountants, basically the whole ecosystem was at my events. And you can imagine that my network just expanded very quickly. And what I realized later is that while helping them network as well, because the idea was for them, come and meet like-minded people. That's what also I was doing. And I think I was not really conscious about it in the beginning. I wanted to meet people, but I ended up helping them build their network more than myself. So, how did I really manage to build this network and build relationship with people? There was actually what I call a magical question that I was asking everyone. And again, in the beginning, spontaneously, and I realized that that was the point where I was connecting with those who were attending my events. When going from an entrepreneur, welcoming them to another, I was of course curious about what they're doing because I want to learn. I'm there to learn. And I was asking them, so okay, you're sharing with me what your challenges, but how can I help you even further? What can I do for you? And nobody's expecting actually this question because people don't offer free help or just are caring enough, interested enough in asking, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And that's the moment where people are like, oh, okay, so you can do something for me? Actually, okay, let's meet. Let's sit down together. I'm gonna share with you my strategy. Come and sit down with us at this incubator. And also, this is how, again, I not only was building my network with entrepreneurs, but also invited to meet managers at incubators. I was at Startup Lab, I was at Oslo International Hub, I was at Mesh. And I was getting the overview I wanted in the beginning. I wanted to connect with people, I wanted to get to know better the ecosystem, I wanted to understand what they're doing. And slowly, I was going to start my own business because I was doing market research with these people. They were telling me what their challenges were. And I was coming up with solutions. How can I help you? They were actually telling me what were the solutions for them. So while meeting all these entrepreneurs, I ended up advising them. I ended up joining advisory boards officially, and also got the opportunity to invest in some startups at a very early stage. For example, I was and still advising Gratitude, Pluvinel, Deskvibe, and now Zeos. And also I'm a mentor at Founder Institute. And I have invested in Pawa, Marine Garden, Magico, and another one, and Motion One. And these opportunities, I would not have had them if I didn't know these people, because I came at a certain moment where they were doing fundraising and they were not open to everyone. The amounts I invested here are insignificant, are very low. For me, it was not about like investing, it was about learning. I'm just putting 2,000 NOK here, in one, 2,000 NOK here. That's nothing. But I start the process of like how to get shares, how to do all the admin. Later, I invested in shoes, and that's not 2,000 NOK, that's like 100,000 NOK. So it's about learning, failing, trying, and testing with people. For example, Gratitude and Pluvinel, I didn't have shares as an advisor because I'm testing. I'm joining their advisory board, call it officially or unofficially, but I was still advising them. But it's a room, it gave me room for improvement, room for learning without having any pressure. But Deskvibe and Zeos, I have shares because I learned. I also would like to mention Hub.no, because Hub.no I would have never had the opportunity to manage the platform, grow it, run it without my network. Basically, it's someone I really have helped a lot with his business, who connected me to Danske Bank. Danske Bank are the one funding the platform. And I remember we were running out of money in a startup I was working with, and I called him and I said, this is not going well. We're running out of money, now I'm working with these people and I'm gonna be laid off. What can I do? And he said, you know what? It's simple. Danske Bank, they're working on a platform they're gonna launch. You're gonna meet them, simply as that. He set up the meeting, we met, that was a match. I started the week after. So, Hub.no, I would not have started it without him, if I haven't helped him Sometimes he was calling me last minute saying, you know, I'm really struggling with this challenge with my company. Can you come? Can you show up? And I remember my husband was like, why are you helping him? I don't understand. And I was just like, you know what? He's calling me. He needs my help. I'm going. That's as simple as that. I'm not expecting to be paid. I'm not expecting anything in return. I know somehow, my intuition was telling me, this is gonna pay off. When you are generous, when you really care about people, when you like going through the city to go help them, there is karma somehow. Call it business karma if you don't believe in proper karma. And something else that is interesting is that with the hub, actually, why maybe it was such a good match. It's because we're helping entrepreneurs build their network. You see features such as jobs, startups, funding tools, events. It's only about networking. You have the job section, for example. Here, what is it about? It's about recruiting. And I can show you, right now I'm recruiting myself, Grundr AS, and I'm looking for these people. I'm looking for a partner, COO, CFO. That's what I call it, easy networking. Basically, he's going to apply and we're going to meet. It's a tool that is available for you to network. And the other section we have, such as funding, it's about meeting investors. Or events, it's about attending events and meeting like-minded people. So you see that even at the hub, we realize the value of networking. Networking is not just something you do on the side. It's something that is really in the core of your business. It has to be part of your business. Without networking, you don't have customers. Call it sales, I call it networking, or I call it helping others. So, why you should network if you still have some doubts? You probably know the African proverb, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you move together. You need marketeers around you if you're an engineer. You need an engineer if you are a lawyer. You need people to complement you, to complement your skills, to reach the next level, to move forward with your business. I would say that, and you probably have heard that before, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. If you want to get inspired by people who are better than you, you have to be quite selective with the people who are surrounding you. And how do you meet these people? Is it just your close network? Are you stuck basically with this close network? If you have other visions for your life, if you want to achieve something else in your life, you need to meet other people to expand your horizon. More opportunities, more business, innovation, and problem solving, of course. The more you meet people, you're exposed to more mindset, more ideas. They probably have solved problems you're facing right now. They can give you solutions. They can tell you about their business, even if it's a different business. They can tell you about something, a way they're proceeding that you can actually implement in your own business and be innovative in processes or marketing. Benefits your career, just like for myself. I landed Hub.no. The social aspects as well. I would say make it a lifestyle. Turn it into a game. It's not networking. It's about being curious. It's about meeting human beings and talking to them, trying to learn from them. Now, when I meet someone, I actually don't want to talk at all about myself. I know myself. If I talk, I'm just going to repeat what I already know. Instead, there is so much value in other people's ideas, other people's opinions. Get to know them. And this leads me to the next one, how to network. Create value. You need to give before you ask anything. You need to help. You probably know Gary Vaynerchuk, and if you haven't read his book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, I would recommend it to you. I read it 2 years ago, and it just put words on what I was doing. What he's doing online is basically creating value for the community, giving, and then he asked for something. He asked them to buy their book. But he has been sharing so much, and it's the same offline. We're human beings. There is no rocket. It's not magic or rocket science. It's about human interaction. What can I do for you? And then you feel that I've created so much value for yourself that you will help me back. Follow up. This is very important. I was actually, you have no idea how many coffees I drank with people. that was what I was doing. Meeting people at my event, following up. Okay, maybe we can meet later in another setting where there are less people, where we can focus and I can see how I can help you. So I was meeting, discussing with them their business challenges, exploring opportunities at some point because I had more knowledge on the business ecosystem myself, so I could bring more value on the table than just connecting them at my events. Think people, not positions. I was going to meetings without knowing. This is not a good advice maybe, because most of the time you would hear that people would recommend you, or the theory would recommend you to do some background check on people before meeting them, check who they are. Actually, I was never doing that, because as soon as I knew he was a CEO or something, I was scared. I felt I was not at the same level. That worked for myself. I'm sharing with you my advice. So I was going to meet someone, not meeting a CEO or an influencer or a journalist. So I could be on a human level with them and discovering them, asking them the right question. Tell me about yourself. How did you come to Norway? How did you start your business? And then I realized, oh, it's actually a big investor. And some of them, I would say that 90% appreciated that and were very open. Maybe it's because it's Norway. Some others were like, oh, you haven't read about me? And most of the time, these people, I didn't get along with them anyway, so. And another point about think people, not positions. You are in your 20s. Those around you who are smart, ambitious, motivated, are probably those who will be CEOs, journalists, investors in 10, 20 years. So value the people you have around you if you get along with them, because these are the people you can do business with them in 10 years, maybe not now, but in 10 years. So stay in touch, always stay in good terms, because you never know who they will be, you never know who might need you in the future or who you might help in the future. Know your value. It's about knowing what you can bring on the table so you can be more efficient. You can say, oh, my value, for example, it's networking, it's connecting people. So when I meet you, say, oh, what do you need? Oh, you need even if it's contract, you telling me that you're struggling with contracts. I say, oh, I actually have a lawyer for you. I know what I have. I have a good network. Forget your personal agenda. When you are at events, especially when you want to build a good basis for a relationship with people, don't try to sell. I've seen that at events where you come and people are like, yeah, so I am selling this great product. Nobody wants that. So you're not there to sell anything, you're there to help them. Connect the dots. Connect the dots means, for example, you are at an event and maybe at the same event, you can connect people together. It's about keeping it in mind. Be selective and follow your gut feeling. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And if you have a bad feeling with someone, a bad gut feeling from the start, don't even try to help them. Your gut feeling might give you the right reasons not to do so. I had that many times. I call him a friend or an acquaintance. He was always asking for help, coming to me asking for help. And in the end, you just realize that he's doing that with everyone, and he starts to have a bad reputation. So you don't want to be associated with this type of people. And be kind, be genuine, and care. I think I emphasized it enough. Some tools to build a network: organize your own event or attend other events. Organizing your own event is very powerful. This is what I would recommend you. You're the center, you become a platform. And this you can apply it in any industry. Hub.no, I showed you how. Facebook, LinkedIn. You have no idea how many people I spoke to on Facebook and LinkedIn who I didn't know. And then I met them in real life to get to know them better. It's okay to send a message to people you don't know as long as you know why and how. Especially I can give you an example. When I was organizing these events, I wanted more and more people to come to my events. So how did I do it? I was inviting people to connect with me, whoever had a CEO or startup in his profile. I was sending them a request explaining, I'm organizing events for entrepreneurs, would you like to join? It's for free. And everybody was like, yeah, great, why not? Don't be worried to look like a psycho. You won't be. Your own network, ask for introductions. Don't hesitate to do that, but always know what you can bring on the table for the other person. For the one who's introducing you, but also for at the end. And yourself, be clear with your plan, your purpose, and they're expressing it. Okay, so my last advice is to give, and make networking a lifestyle. Thank you.